Hi, I'm Cantor from Yeshua congregation right here in Tel Aviv. Stick around to the end of the video. I'd like to send you a free ebook. The primary leader of the Jerusalem congregation in the New Testament is a gentleman we refer to as James. Some wrongly assume that this was James, the brother of John. That James died a martyr's death in Acts chapter 12. This James is the physical brother of Yeshua. Before we continue, I want to clear something up. His name was not actually James at all. In fact, none of the Jameses in the Bible were ever really called James. This is just another instance where the New Covenant has been robbed of its original Jewish identity. In truth, he was called Yaakov, or Jacob. Yes, just like the patriarch Jacob in Genesis. So why do we call him James in English when Jacob is a perfectly fine English translation? I used to think that it was something sinister connected to King James, who authorized the translation of the Bible into English. However, it turns out that the names Jacob and James have been synonymous for years. The Latin for James, Icamus, was very close to the Latin for Jacob, Ichabus, and it appears that it was just a linguistic corruption, nevertheless a costly one. Jacob was not a believer when his brother Yeshua was alive. It was only after the resurrection that he came to faith and eventually became the leader of the Jerusalem congregation for many decades. He was called Jacob the Just, or Yaakov HaTzadik, because of his outstanding virtue and reputation. While most of us are taught that Messianic Jews were a pariah within Judaism, he was respected by all 7 sects of Judaism. He was such a godly man that they said he had the knees of camels from all the hours in the temple that he spent in prayer. As more and more Jews came to follow Yeshua, the Pharisees became threatened. A 2nd century Jewish believer leaves an account of Jacob's death, as quoted by Eusebius, a 4th century historian. According to this account, Jacob was tricked into his demise. The Pharisees requested that he come to the pinnacle of the temple to address the Jews who were there celebrating Passover. Interestingly enough, this is exactly where Satan took Yeshua to tempt him. The pinnacle of the temple was a specific place on the Temple Mount. Archaeologists have uncovered a stone believed to have belonged to the pinnacle. It reads in Hebrew, the place of trumpeting. From the pinnacle, a priest would sound the shofar, announcing the beginning and the ending of a Sabbath or a holy day. Once there, the Pharisees had hoped that Jacob would denounce his faith in Yeshua. As he stood there, they asked him, "O righteous one, in whom we are able to place great confidence. The people are led astray after Yeshua, the crucified one. So declare to us, what is this way, Yeshua?" He responded, "Why do you ask me about Yeshua, the Son of Man? He sits in heaven at the right hand of the great power, and he will soon come on the clouds of heaven." Interestingly, these are the very words Yeshua spoke to the high priest when asked if he was the Messiah. The Pharisees were none too pleased with Jacob's answer, but the Jews below shouted, "Hosanna to the Son of David!" Several of the Pharisees climbed to the pinnacle and they threw him off about a 400-foot drop. Miraculously, he survived and immediately began to pray, just like his brother. "I beg of you, Lord God our Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing." They began to stone him, and one of the priests rebuked them. "Stop," he demanded. "What are you doing? The righteous one is praying for you." However, before his plea could be heeded, one of them took a club and leveled it against Jacob, and he died. This was in the year 62, about 30 years after Yeshua's resurrection. Jacob was replaced by Simeon, his cousin, and the next 13 leaders of the Jerusalem congregation were all of Jewish descent, until 135 when the Romans conquered Israel and dispersed all the Jews. And now you know the untold story of Jacob, the brother of Yeshua. I hope this video has been a blessing to you. Now, to get my free ebook, The 15 Most Important Facts About the Israeli-Palestinian Conflict, just go to roncan.net/15facts and make sure that the F is capitalized. This video has been brought to you by Yeshua Congregation in Tel Aviv. For more information, please visit reachtelaviv.org and consider making a donation so we can continue to share the good news of Yeshua in Israel and bring you more of these weekly teachings. And make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.